Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss the next topic of our unit 2, like a factor affecting runoffs. So in our unit 2 name is runoff. Here we are going to discuss what are the factors it will be affected by the runoff. So the course outcome of this topic is summarize the concept of well hydraulics. Then the correlation with the CO2 with the PO is PO1 and then PO7 with the PSO1. So factors affecting infiltration and runoff. So see the slope of the land. So the steeper the slope, the less infiltration, more runoff occurs. So as the slope increases, the infiltration decreases. So see the infiltration will be increased means obviously the slope we need in a frequent manner. Otherwise, is a less steepener. Here the infiltration rate is high, whereas here the more steepener, here the infiltration rate is very less that compared to that infiltration rate. So this is the indirect relationship with the correlation of infiltration with the slope area. Depend upon that the soil characteristic are occur. So yesterday we discussed about the catchment area soil characteristic also. So likewise this is water that is not infiltrating the soil, instead it forming runoff. So it's like a porosity. So definition percent of open spaces in soil. So like a porous space, then mineral grains. Then particle size alone does not determine porosity. So identically shaped samples of increasing particle size will have the same porosity. So 0.10 centimeter diameter, 0.40 centimeter diameter. So this 0.70 centimeter. Approximately porosity size, like we had mentioned, no, the identically shaped samples of increasing particle size will have the same porosity. So porosity and shape, whereas rounded versus angular based. So which is more porosity? So we can expect that if the uniformity is angle is there now, from there we can expect high porosity. Whereas the angular based, the soil particles or maybe rock particles is there now, from there we can expect only the low porosity. So from here this is the and then this is the close, so which is more porosity. So here one is the high porosity and here we can expect a low porosity. That means the air having ununiformly it will be occur, then we can expect that much of the gap also is there. Then this is the shorter versus unshorter. So all the same sizes, this is the different sizes, so which is more porous. So this is the low porosity and this one is the high porosity. So which is more porous? Yeah, continue of this one. So round particles are angular particles, so we can expect that this like an assessment based. So this is the round particles is the more porous, whereas tightly or loosely packed now, so we can expect only loose to particles. Why? Because I mentioned no, the gap is much from the loose particle, whereas well shorter particles were converted to unshorted particle, then large bits and small bits are equal. So the particle size alone does not determine the porosity. So the particle size, see the porosity in a same manner. Whereas permeability, the ability to let water pass through it, soil made up of large particles are very permeable and have high infiltration rates. For soil to be permeable, the pores space must be connected. So clay soils absorb water at a very slow rate, small particle size, low permeability. Clay has the smallest particle sizes. So in which soil will water move through more quickly? So water, so see 0.10 centimeter diameter, then whereas this is called 0.40 centimeter diameter, this is 0.70. All these places are in the same spaces, whereas we compare to 0.70 centimeter diameter is much. So like a permeability, which column would allow water now so to flow through fastest and why? So A, see from small bubbles then screen water, whereas large sand screen from here the water. Here the medium sand screen and then water in the column C, whereas the column D is the large site. Silt particles there, then screen, then water will be particles. So A, why? Because the particles are largest. Whereas the permeability, if you join sediment from A and D, what would happen to permeability and why? So from Kali, Column A, the small bubbles screen water, same thing, okay, decreases because the small particles fill in the spaces from A and then D. So permeability is particle size is a correlation gradually increased. So which is the more permeability, large particles, and which is present zone or unpresent zone. So unpresent zone you can expect. So capillarity. So the capillary action, the ability of water to flow upward through soil. So it is a very important to people who grow crops. So soil made up of very small particles have the highest capillarity. So more surface area for water to cling to. So see the degree of saturation. So from here, if the ground is already saturated, fully shocked, then water will more likely run off. The vegetation versus land use. So the vegetation is little runoff, whereas compared to the land use paved streets, na, so parking lots and more runoff will be occurs. So ground temperature based. So the frozen ground limit infiltration of rain and also causes runoff melting the snow process. So factor affecting runoff and the stream discharges. So which will result in greater runoff and stream discharge. Na? So on our area that is barren, an area that has been steep slope, and ground that is frozen, ground that is unsaturated compared to the saturated zone. So these are the reference material, and these books we can use for the textbook and reference material. Thank you.